Hello everyone, and welcome to the September 2025 Energetic Insights. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Topeka Mystery, and I'm an intuitive guide, energy healer, coach, and a consultant. And for 6 years now, I've been sharing these insights on a month-by-month basis, and it's really geared up for those of you that are becoming more and more consciously aware of your intuitive and energetic abilities and are looking for some practical guidance to help you to navigate your way through. So if this sounds like you, welcome, you're here at the right place. Oh my goodness, how are we already in September? Goodness gracious me. Wow, before I dive into the energies for this month, I have a couple of quick announcements. The first one is it's a birthday month. We are celebrating two things. The first one is these insights. We are celebrating 6 years of doing these insights. And the second one is we're celebrating my 40th something birthday. Oh my goodness, I cannot believe I'm 40 something. It's gone so fast. But in order to celebrate these two big birthdays, I'm giving away 2 readings, and they are 30-minute intuitive readings. Those that have been following me for a while, you know I no longer do them. So if you've been wanting to get a reading with me and didn't get a chance to get them in when I was doing them, this is your chance now. And all you have to do is comment below this video, and that will enter you in for the prize draw. And I will announce the winners in the October Insights. The second announcement I have is the energetic alignment session, which is our group healing journeys. That is taking place on Sunday the 21st of September at the usual time, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. UK time, and 7 p.m. European time. And the theme this month is called End of the Beginning. So yeah, this is quite telling of what the energies are like this month. The third announcement I have is that I've got a few spaces available left for a 3-month or a 12-month coaching energy healing container. If you're curious about that, please do go ahead to my website and drop me a message through the contact section, and I will get back to you. And then finally, if you haven't already subscribed to this channel, please do go ahead and subscribe. Every little subscription, comment, thumbs up, it all helps reach those that need to receive this message, hear this message, and it also helps me to grow this channel. So thank you very much. All right, let's dive into this energy this month. And boy, September is a very, very interesting month, and my experience of kind of bringing the information together or being able to translate the information for this month, it's been a bit tricky, I have to say, and I think that is telling in itself. So normally I can really kind of be in the space of stillness and receive the information, and sometimes it will come over a couple of days. Here it was just like a complete blank, and then every time I did get a bit of information and held on to it, it will move and it will transform. And then if I held on too tightly for it, it will just completely dissipate. And I'm just like, whoa, what's going on here? What is this? And it feels like September has many, many moving parts, and it feels like it's going to be very unpredictable. So even some of the stuff that I'm going to say this month, it may not even be absolutely relevant because something will shift and change, and it will shift and change the whole dynamic. So I think that is the key. If anything that you remember from this insight, that everything is changeable this month. There is nothing that is set in stone. It's almost like things are being lifted up, and there is a wobbling sensation here as well. So it's very, very interesting. But there is also for this month, there is a sense of like it's a big month for endings, and it could be sudden endings. It's endings that you've been not wanting but have been holding on really, really tightly, that just completely just ends. And it's endings on many different levels. It could be and I think I'm going to share a bit more about this in one of the other themes, but it could be relationships, it could be jobs, it could be the country that you're living in. So many different things on that. And there is this sense that there is a stage being set, that's been set and being set for the next 5 to 6 months. And more of that I'll kind of explain in theme 1, because there's a lot that is happening in September, but I think it's also going to carry forward into the next 5 to 6 months. And it's probably also worth looking into the astrology for this month, because I think there are 2 different eclipses. I think there are powerful new moons and full moons and equinoxes. So it's probably worth looking at Pam Gregory. She really speaks to this in real depth, and I think that will help also to navigate this month. It's not my area of expertise. I can just feel them as energies, but she does it through astrology, and she has some really grounded, concrete information that comes through. So it's probably worth checking that out. So in terms of the 2 halves of this month, I feel up until 13th, 14th, maybe even to the 15th of September, many of us are still moving through these grief cycles that kind of started off last month with another level of intensity. It's not like we've not been moving through it, but there's another level of intensities, which is kind of coming to this kind of sense of climax in there, a sense of completion that is coming through these grief cycles. Many of us will also feel this sense of compression, contraction. For some of us, it will be subtle, depending on the level of work we've done or what we're trying to release, what we're trying to move through. And for some of us, it'll be quite extreme and debilitating. And so also depends on where you're at with your physical body and your nervous system and the re-regulation of your nervous system. So last month, I kind of mentioned in theme 4, there's a recalibration integration that's happening with these new light encoded technologies, which was theme 1. So I think we're still integrating that into our system and more into our nervous system. So it's probably worth watching the August Insights just to kind of get a feel for what this is all about. Throughout this month, there is a sense of shockwaves. So, and I think this links back to the moving pieces and moving parts. And we'll feel the shockwaves through our body. It's like the earth is moving, we are moving. So some of us may feel a sense of, like I wasn't feeling too great trying to recall these insights. There was something that was like, I'm not really feeling 100%. And yeah, so there is something to do with the physical bodies and energetic bodies, and I think these shock waves are going to affect that more on a physical level for many of us. I think many of us have already been feeling these shock waves on an energetic level, but I think it's going to be more on a physical level this month. And so the guidance for this is to slow down, rest, go inwards, release the overdoing and pushing. And I feel that the first month, depending on how we kind of navigate it, it can be a springboard for the second half of this month. So if we have navigated with a bit more ease than some, then there's an opportunity for more clarity and alignment and inner knowing. But for some of us, it may be gearing us to the second half of the month, can be a sense of like a big bang, a big release, like just things exploding. There is this sense of kind of things coming out. So it can be, I think, depending on who we are and where we are on our journey, we're going to have different experiences, and we're all on the same path, or maybe just experiencing it in slightly different waves, I would say. But regardless, there is a sense at the end of this month, there is a greater sense of clarity. Also, at the beginning part of this month, there is a sense of, those of you that have taken those brave steps forward into the new, there may be that contraction and going inwards and thinking, oh my God, what have I done? Have I done the right thing? I know I've experienced this. So you could also be experiencing that too. So there is a lot. And remember, there are lots of moving parts for this month. Nothing is set in stone. And I feel like the insights for this month is actually giving us guidance of what is to come and how to navigate it and where to kind of go, which is going inwards. All right, let's start off with the first message that I got from the guides, and this is called Soften into Stillness. And they go, we ask that you soften, breathe, and relax into stillness. It can be found within you, in the spaces between the noise. It is light, it is water, it is love. Yes, the world is in chaos, and it shall become more chaotic and destructive in nature. The sacred feminine fire has risen and is rising. The ground shall shake and open as the floods of tears move through grief, loss, and sadness. We ask that you center yourself in your heart with unconditional love. You shall expand beyond the conditioned constructs, and here lies the sacred masculine, awaiting his time to step forward to build anew. So, like I said, I think a lot of these messages that are coming from the guides this month is giving us insight of what is to come, what is happening, and what we might be feeling, and how to kind of navigate this. And I think if you were following the August one, there was a real kind of sacred fire rising. And I think most of us can actually feel that it has risen, something has shifted, and it's continuing to rise. There was something that I think somebody said to me that's like, oh, I feel like us feminine energies have moved forward, yet the masculine are kind of stuck. So I feel that this is kind of saying, yes, the feminine will move forward first, but then there is a rising of the sacred masculine that's coming in to support that. It's both, and it's not one or the other. So again, a lot of this will be covered in various different layers and different details throughout this month. Before I go to the first theme this month, let's do a quick recap of the themes from August. And they were light encoded technology, grief, a portal for change, sacred fire rising, and integration and recalibration. If any of those themes resonates, it's worth going back and watching the August insights. All right, let's move on to the first theme for this month. And the first theme is called Rise and Fall. And the guides go: we ask that you not fear the coming months. The rising and falling of the waves of change shall destabilize the old conditioned constructs. This is by design, and it is needed for the restoring of balance through time and space. The frequency of love shall flow through, illuminating the shadows hidden in plain sight. This marks the end of the beginning, as a remembering of your truth takes form, releasing the shackles of your wounding, returning back to the stillness of nothing, where everything is alive. So, yeah, there is definitely a storm brewing. So it's very much like if you know that there is a storm coming, there's a preparation phase that is happening, and we are, I guess we are in for a turbulent time until about the end of February. So for this theme one, I'm just going to kind of explain some of the things in a bit more detail that I received in the January insights. So I feel that this period between, I guess, from September the 10th, because we got the dates, if you were following me, I've been getting kind of key dates or key periods of dates. So like from September to about February 2026, there is this sense of vibration, of thunder. So there is a storm that's brewing, and the way that I keep being shown it is like you're lost at seas, and there are these big waves, and there is this boat, and you want to go inside the boats, because if you're kind of on top of the boat, on the outside of the boats, you're going to be swept away by the waves. So it's almost trusting that the boat will be able to take you where you need to go. There's going to be some boats that are going to be broken up by the waves, but some boats will survive these big waves of change. And that's what I'm being shown, and that's what I feel like the energies are going to be like for the next 5 to 6 months. And what they're also saying is that there is this sense of, even though we have these big waves of change, there's something new that is also being birthed. Again, we're going back to the both and. So something can be kind of destructive in nature and chaotic in nature, but then there's a beauty to that, because new things can be created from chaos as well. So what I feel what's going to come through, I think, end of February, is that this new builds momentum. So whatever new things that we're creating in this period is going to start to build momentum. So if you feel like you started a new project or something new and it hasn't taken form, know that over the next 6 months it will start to take form, and it's an opportunity for you to kind of build pieces together and kind of see what pieces you want to build and put together. That's the sense that I got. And again, with the picture of the ship out, the wooden ship on really big waves, it's like it's a reminder to say it's not outside of you. What you're looking for actually is within inside of you. And the clearer you are, the more inner work that you've done, the more awareness you have around your woundings, the more awareness you have around your relationship dynamics, the more awareness that you have around your shadows, and you're able to access that compassion and kindness and love for yourself. There is more space inside of us to bring in our soul's energy. So this sense I've always had is that we are connecting to something that is inside of us but is beyond us, and we're bringing that through our physical and our human body. And I think there's more about this in one of the other themes this month. And it's really about, that's why those of you that check out and go off into the cosmos, no, you need to come back into your body. So it's actually done inside of your bodies, and our whole physical body is changing with these energies as we're bringing new energy through. So there is so much here to be shared about this. There are also, just to break this down a little bit more, there are 4 key themes. I think these were the themes that I kind of mentioned as overall themes for this year, and I think this is going to be even more active from now until the end of February. So there's this sense of completion, new beginnings, transformational change. This to me kind of looks like butterflies. So you might be a caterpillar, not yet in the cocoon. You might be the caterpillar in the cocoon having your transformation, or you might be kind of breaking free, breaking out of the cocoon and becoming the butterfly. So I think there are 3 different stages at a very, very high level. And I think many of us are going to go into these stages. So that is also what's happening. The rise and fall, it's really about restoring balance, and it's about, and I'm being shown the scales as well. So, the scales have been tipped to one side. Now they're kind of finding the balance. So, they'll go up the other side and come back again. And so they'll kind of do this up and down until the balance is restored. And this is also around the sacred masculine and feminine energies, with the energies of fear and love, between the energies of the cosmos and the earth, and the new humans and the earth. So I think there's lots of things that are the balance is being restored, but it has this sense of rise and fall, and it is chaotic, but is actually about restoring the balance. So keep hold of that with all the chaos that is going on. There is also this sense of upgrade in our human intelligence. So we've experienced 2 of the jetstream, what's it called? Starlight jetstream energies. And the second one was in August. We've got the 3rd one coming up in November. So we're getting all of these new light codes that's coming in. And what I was actually shown, and I think this was in one of my client sessions, is that some of us will be feeling and experiencing those light codes within our physical bodies, but some of us, it's kind of sitting in our light bodies. And if you are into energy work, we have different types of bodies, and there's an energy body as well. So think about it as your energy body, and the light and code technology is in that. And then it's like raindrops, then it kind of filters through into our physical body. So then there's an awakening, a reprogramming that is also happening. Depends on how much we've cleared within our physical bodies as well. There's also this sense of consciousness expansion, physically, emotionally, and energetically. So it doesn't matter who you are, where you are in your journey, we're all going to have this experience on various different levels. And the key, one of the things is stillness, inside out creation. So the more you look outside of yourself, the more you're going to experience the chaos, the instabilities, just a lot. If you're an empath, you're almost going to drown by everything that you feel and experience outside of you. So you have to go inside to create that stillness, and to find that stillness and emanate that stillness. One of the key things with this rise and fall, so think about it, and if you've ever been whitewater rafting and you've accidentally got caught, and I will not recommend this to anyone because it's a horrible experience. I've been there. When you're whitewater rafting, when you get caught in the rapid and you're even holding on really tightly to your oar or even onto the raft, the water just will pick you up and throw you out, right? And the tighter you hold on to it, the more it kind of hurts. So you have to kind of let go, surrender, curl into a ball, and allow yourself to pop out when you pop out. And it is a very scary experience. So I think this is a great kind of analogy, because the guides are saying let go of whatever you're holding on to, especially what you're holding on to really tightly. So many of us right now, we are maybe holding on to our jobs, maybe we're holding on to our relationships, maybe we are holding on to our, I don't know, an identity. All of these things are probably linked to our wounding that is trying to clear itself through us with all of these new higher frequencies that are coming in. It could be linked to a story that we have that is linked to lack, unworthiness, failure, loss. So we're really being asked to step into our wholeness. So all of these things are being cleared out from us, and when it is being cleared out, it's counterintuitive to let go. So a natural instinct, like on the raft, my natural instinct was to hold on. If we didn't have the training before, they said if you do get caught, just curl up into a ball, and it all kind of goes in very, very slow motion. You have to trust it. You have to surrender and trust. And this is the key thing about these energies. And this rise and fall is going to be through up until end of February. So with that, I have got a couple of key dates, and I think the dates will get clearer. And as I said, things are constantly shifting and changing. So allow yourself to shift and change with the energies that are moving through. So I've already said 13th and 14th, maybe even the 15th of September, there is a shift in alignment. I feel that many of us are going to become more in alignment with who we truly are. So depending on who we are on our journey, how conscious we are, how aware we are, it will be like I can breathe now, or it can be, oh gosh, this feels really uncomfortable because it's new to you. So yeah, but there is always a sense of liberation, so you know you're on the right path. Then I think around between the 2nd and the 5th of October, I think many of us are going to need this. There's this sense of a pause where we get a chance to catch our breath, a chance to breathe deeply, a chance to really slow down before the storm gets completely and utterly wild. And then I've got, like, from the 12th of October, the storm starts to really pick up pace. I'm not seeing anything from then onwards, but then I think I've already mentioned the third stream of starlight jet stream energies is, I feel it's going to be happening. It's a longer period as well, 17th to the 27th of November. I'm not sure what the energies around this are, because each one of them are different in nature. And then December, January, February, I just got this sense that there are many moving parts, and it's going to be very unsettling. So we're already feeling some of that now, but it's even more so as we go into the later half of this year and beginning of next year. So yes, I'll keep coming back to this. These are, if you want to get another sense of that, you can go back and watch the January insights, but that's at a much higher level. This is much more detail. All right, let's move on to the second theme for this month. And the second theme is called Relationship Release. And the guides go, it is time now, time to let go. You are moving from one world to another. Some will step forward and walk alongside you. Some will be forging ahead, paving paths anew. Some will stay put, as it's not their time. You haven't done anything wrong. You have not failed. This is divinely orchestrated, and it's by your soul's design. To release the wounded dynamics, to release the minimization of self, to release the ancestral and karmic patterns, to create the space needed for your soul to step forward into your human. Then through your human soul can the new earth be born. So I really like this message. It is stunning on so many different levels, and we often see as ending of relationships as a bad thing. But if you think about it, if you think about it in this way, many of our relationships up until now, we've probably been playing out our wounding, we've been playing out our conditions. We haven't really been in alignment with our soul's calling. So the more we become in alignment with our soul's calling, we're going to attract different energies and different people that have similar sort of work and that have similar sort of calling, that we need to co-create together this new earth. So, and also it's almost like you're having this like a complete different identity. So you're becoming a completely different person, yet your essence remains the same. So this is a really, really huge energy. And so some of you are going to find that, you know, relationships are going to end all of a sudden. You know, it's not just the personal relationships or the intimate relationship. It could be work, it could be business, it could be friendship, it could be where you're living, your home, the location, the country. It could also be death of a loved one or a friend. So all of this stuff is creating this kind of shockwave, and it's the suddenness of it. So it's almost like you're being forced into this clearing process and then into the shockwaves. And it is about clearing these what they said here, and I will go into a bit more. They said to release the wounded dynamic. So all of this is helping us to release what we cannot take forward onto this new path, so that you can come into more of alignment with your soul's mission in your human form. So even like your physical bodies, and we all know, if we've done trauma work, we know that the body keeps a score. So we have to, it's a physical release, it's an emotional release, it's an energetic release. There is so many different things that's going on. So if you are somebody that has been struggling with releasing some of your past life or the karmic debt or anything that's linked with the ancestors, this month is a good month to really set your intention and allow those things to be cleared through. So past life karmic debts, ancestral karma, or even the wounding that's come from your ancestors, and mother and father wound. And again, often all of these things, like I said earlier, these are the things that have been playing out in our relationship. So and that's why these relationships are ending, because it's a way to kind of say, that's it, I'm done, we're moving forward. And really this journey here around relationship release is about healing the mother-father wound, clearing ancestral karma, clearing any karmic debt that you've carried forward from previous lifetimes, releasing the victim consciousness so that you can step in and become more of yourself, and more of this energy of love versus the victim consciousness. So again, here I've said it here, stepping into and owning your wholeness, becoming more of your true self. And this is a good one. A really great opportunity of releasing the energy of shame and judgment. So what are the things, and that's why I think that letting go is so important. We're often holding on to things really, really tightly because we are too afraid to face our own inner critic, the judgment we have about ourselves. So say something like, I don't know, you've been in a career for 20, 30 years, or you've been in a relationship for 20, 30 years. No, let's say career for 20, 30 years, and you want to retire, and all of a sudden that's been taken away from you, and then there is shame around it, although you probably knew 5 years ago that it was time to leave, but you didn't leave. And so there is, because you don't want to face the shame of like, oh, I'm not good enough, or I didn't get to this point, or I didn't get to this level. So it's almost like we're measuring ourselves on particular levels. So what it is, we hold on to things tightly because we don't want to kind of feel the shame, or look at our own judgments around this as well, or our own rules and conditionings. But again, these are all the conditionings that it's allowing it to be released. This could also mean that your relationship changes. So maybe there's no ending to your relationship, but there's a consciousness, that there's a new level of consciousness, a new level of awareness. So you've committed to growing in a completely different way. So this could also happen as well. Or if you were thinking about leaving a relationship and all of a sudden the other person that you've been with changes, and there's a consciousness and there's an ability to grow. So it's so many different things on this. And I love this one. It's also your relationship to victim consciousness energy, your relationship to what you kind of project out, your relationship of what you absorb in, and it's a relationship with your inner critic. And maybe it's time to break up with all of that. Break up with what people think about you, break up with that victim consciousness, break up with the inner critic. All of this is available as part of this relationship release. And just remember, this is an opportunity for more of your soul family to come in, and so that you can align more into your destined path. and what is for you will not go past you. And again, there is free will to this. I think some of us will just hold on tightly, and it's going to hurt a little bit, and there will be a timing when you will need to let go. So it's really interesting. And I've always seen people's paths, especially when I do the energy work, we have many different opportunities to exit the path that's not really our path, that's, you know, our wounded path, but many opportunities to exit it and go on to a different path. So yeah, it's a little bit like that. All right, let's move on to the third theme for this month. And this one is called End of the Beginning. Oh, sounds very dramatic, doesn't it? And the guides go, shh, quiet the mind, take a moment and connect to your heart and breathe slowly. Remember, your human is a portal for creation, a portal for change, a portal that is birthing the new. As the old crumbles and tumbles, we say, let it. Do not hold on tightly. Let what needs to die, die. Hold the space, trust, surrender into the nothingness. It is here where you arrive into stillness. It is from the stillness that you form the new. Through your wholeness, through your heart, through love, light, and water, the new world emerges through you. So, yeah, I think this message is really preparing us for this alignment. It's giving us information of what to do, is to really kind of go still, slow down, quiet the mind, take a moment to really connect into our heart centers, to breathe slowly. And for many of us, especially those of us that have got really fast mind and always thinking and always knowing what the next step is, this is so counterintuitive. And really, you know, many of us have been taught, and I think this is a teaching versus how we actually can process this thing. Many of us have been taught that if anything ends, it's a bad thing. But in reality, endings are really new beginnings in disguise. So endings are new beginnings in disguise, and you're kind of shedding a layer. And I'm just getting the image, and I think this year is the year of the snake as well. So I'm just getting an image of the snake. The snake will shed the skin and new skin will grow. That skin will be shedded and new skin will grow. So it's a cycle, it's cyclical in nature. And I think that is something that we have forgotten. And I think that, you know, that was there in the ancient wisdom. And I think a lot of the ancient wisdom is coming back. And for the ancient wisdom to come back, there needs to be space. So, you know, the way that we have been conditioning and been operating in our conditioning is that needs to go, to be released, so that this new operating system can actually come in. And it's really about releasing the conditioning and our attachment to our wounding. Somewhere along the line, and I can really speak for this for myself as well, that many of us have got attached to our wounding. So I think it links to what I was saying before. So many of us will hold on to the wounding, and you know, it could be something around, I'm not good enough, I am not lovable, right? And then we form a whole identity around that, and then we form a life around that. We maybe go into places where we become successful because of that wounding, right? I'm not good enough, I'm not lovable. So you may become somebody that is really famous, very popular, at top of your game, but that's been driven by your wounding. So of course the protective master, I think I mentioned this maybe in the June or the July insights, the protective master, it's an aspect of us that's going to hold on to that. You can't let this go. If you let this go, who are we going to be? Yet inside, that wounding's still alive. So this is an opportunity to really hold that wounding and look into it. And actually, so if you're somebody that believed that you were not lovable and no one loves you, and then you've experienced relationships where they haven't chosen you, so then that validates your wounding, I'm not lovable. But what about if you just had to make a choice, and that choice was, actually, I am loved because I am love. And that then just changes the whole game. it's like that wounding of I'm not lovable and I am loved and I am love cannot coexist at the same time. So this is what is happening at the moment, and I get so excited about this because it's so trippy to the mind, but I know, and I've experienced this myself, and you know, it's something else, and I wish I could find the words for it, but it is very, very trippy to the mind. And I think only when we get to this point of the really deepest, darkest wounding of us, and you know, that's why they say it's about peeling the layers of the onion, because we are peeling back the layers of the onion to get to the core wounding. And we have that core wounding since we are born to a certain degree, and some of it is developed. So we can have maybe 3 or 4 different core woundings, but then there is a really core one that we've carried forward from our ancestors, or we carried forward from our past life, that on a soul level that we're trying to resolve. And once we resolve that one, it's almost like there's more space that's been cleared and more of our soul energies can actually come in. And there is a sense of what we often do in personal development, and those of us that have been on this journey, and I can speak for myself on this, there have been many, many years where I have released many layers, and then after releasing the layers, I'm just like, oh my God, I am free, I can do this, da, da, da. But the wounding has still existed. And often, and it's true when they say that your outside world reflects to a certain degree what's going on inside, but yet, so if you're somebody, there's so many different levels. I'm not going to give an example because I think I can go completely down a rabbit hole here. But what I'm trying to say here is that yes, you can peel maybe 5 layers of the onion, and then you're wondering, why am I still creating the same crap again? And that's because you need to peel another couple of layers of the onions, and then that's when the inner critic comes in, and you get frustrated with yourself because the ego's going, look, I've just done the work, I'm amazing, I'm creating all these new things, but nothing kind of sticks. The thing is that in those spaces, we're actually still creating from the old operating system, which operates from that old wounding. So what is happening now is that we have a chance to go even deeper than we've ever gone before. And whatever is showing up in our lives is really, really touching the core wounding that each and every one of us is holding. And when we kind of address that, hold space for it, love it with kindness and compassion, and allow the healing to take shape and form, we kind of shift. And this is when I think the timeline shifts for us, and this is where our realities then also shifts. We kind of shift, and it's not a doing thing, it's really about trusting, surrendering, and you kind of move into the space of nothingness. So I know this from experience of all the different layers. When that wounding has been resolved, you kind of end up in the space of absolute nothingness, absolute nothingness. You're not wanting to do anything, you're not wanting to try and control anything, you're not trying to manipulate anything, you're not trying to make things happen. You just are, you're just there, you're in this nothingness, and there's just acceptance of it. And sometimes it can be like 5 seconds, sometimes it could be minutes. For me, it was days and weeks. And it was a very interesting experience. But it's from this place and this space where our inner wisdom resides. And this is where we can create the new. So, you know, what is happening at the moment, many of us have been creating from our old operating system, but we now got an opportunity to create from a brand new operating system. And with that, we cannot use the old tools, we cannot use the old methodologies, we can't use the old processes. So we're really kind of stepping into the unknown, not knowing how we're going to create, but yet knowing there is a deeper knowing inside of us that knows, and there's a wisdom. And that's why, you know, the more you can hold space for yourself, the more that you can be compassionate towards yourself, the more that you can bestow love and kindness towards yourself, the more you'll be able to access this. And the more we can do that for ourselves, the more that we can do that for everyone else. So yeah, and if you look around, and the reason why we look around some of the hatred and stuff like that that's happening in the world, we're doing that to ourselves. And that's why there's an opportunity this month to really kind of resolve that victim consciousness, resolve the inner critic. And many times we keep them because we've got a real solid identity that is attached to it that works in the conditioned construct. And these messages this month have been saying that, you know, the conditioned constructs are being destabilized. So yeah, it's very, very interesting. I know I'm babbling a lot, but I think all the information is coming through right now. I didn't get much when I was writing it down, but as I'm talking to you guys, it's all kind of coming through. So I'm just kind of going with it. All right, let's move on to the fourth and final theme for this month. And this theme is called Become the Stillness. And the guides go: as you go through these coming months of unrecognizable change and transitions, the world outside of you shall get louder, more chaotic in nature, unpredictable. A storm is brewing, is thunderous in nature. The earth shall shake, roar, cry, and her emotions shall be felt across the stars. As she fully awakens, we ask that you tune inwards. There is a place within you that is still, expansive, wise, and all-knowing. This is the key. This is the path of creation. Become the stillness. Let it speak through you. Remember, you are more powerful than you have been led to believe. Your time is now. So, again, like I said, all the messages this month are really talking about what is to come, how to navigate it, how we're going to feel, what are the experiences, talking about the human changes, the earth changes. There is a lot, a real lot. So going slowly and going inwards, it's going to be key to navigating these times. Let me see what else I've got here. And I think there's a sense here, no matter who we are on our journey, no matter how conscious we are, no matter how awake we are, we're all going to feel it. We're all going to feel it on varying levels, depending on how empathic we are, how sensitive we are. And then if we're not feeling, if you think you're not feeling it, you may actually be projecting it. So you may be projecting it onto your country. Maybe there is frustration and angry on the way in which your country is going. Maybe it's your government. Maybe it's your leaders. If you're in an organization, maybe you're mad at the exec team or your boss or something like that. Maybe you're mad at your partner, frustrated with a partner that they're not doing X, Y, and Z for you. Maybe you're mad at your friends or your family members. So this is really important to check, because this is what is playing out and what needs to be resolved within yourself. And it's easier for us to get frustrated. Maybe there's fear. Maybe there is this kind of lack of control and uncertainty. So that's asking you to expand and go into that. And I think if we're still carrying our wounding, of course it's going to feel really, really scary. Because when we have a wounding, whatever that wounding is, we learn to protect it and we learn to control the outside world around us. And when that starts shaking up, it's like, oh my God, where do I go? And our old tools are not working. So we have to go inwards in this. So yeah, it's a very, very interesting energy. And I've got some practical practices. So I'm going a bit longer on this one, but I think that this is a big month, big energies. So I've just allowed myself to speak through whatever needs to speak through. And I keep moving on the camera because, like, oh my God, my legs are hurting standing up for like 40 odd minutes. But anyway, here are some practical practices that will help you for all of these themes this month. Number one, check in with yourself. And do it daily, do it hourly, do it however many times you need to do it, but check in with yourself. Ask yourself, how are you doing? How are you feeling? And allow your body to respond. Allow the emotions to come. Allow the thoughts to come. Just hold space for yourself. And the second one, and I think that's the key thing, I didn't put it here, but really hold space for yourself. Number two, observe what's coming up. So again, observe what's going on in your body. What are the thought patterns that's coming up? What are the coincidences that happen that are around that? Notice any contractions, expansions. Number three, notice the inner critic and victim consciousness. Every time we kind of take a moment and start practicing these things, we're going to come up against the victim consciousness and inner critic. And most of the time it's unconscious until we expand our level of awareness. And oftentimes we don't want to expand that because we don't want to see the inner critic and we don't want to see that victim consciousness, because we still want to hold on to the identity that those aspects of ourselves gives us. 4, feel your emotions. Cry, scream, get angry, let it move through you. And this is healing in itself, you know. And you may want to shake your body, have Epsom salt baths, punch something, break something, run, swim, whatever it is. That will all help to move it. Dance, everything. It doesn't have to be gentle. Some of this, the energy I'm feeling of this, some of it is quite angry and quite aggressive. So you will really need to move it. And I keep seeing punching bags and punching gloves. So you may need to physically move this energy through you, especially men. Oftentimes in my coaching, I find that many of us women, we can release the emotions through our tears, but tears don't often come that easily to men, not all men, just kind of saying. So you have to move the energy and the emotion through something that is physical and tangible. So that is also good, but it's also really applicable to those of you women that are more in your masculine. So you might not cry, you might have to really move the energy through something physical. And this is going to be hard for many of you. Number 5 is ask for help. Ask God, ask the universe, ask your guides, ask the angels, ask people around you, family, friends, and even ask professionals. And I think this is where the key is professionals, because the friends can only take you so far. And many of us that have been doing this for a while, we've seen a lot, we've gone through a lot, we know how to help you to navigate you through these transitional periods and transitional times. And also the thing that I keep getting reminded by my guide team is that none of us are meant to travel alone in this world. And there's a epidemic of loneliness, but we're not meant to do any of this alone. So yeah, move your body, which is number 6. 7, hydrate with intention. This is really cool. So if you're drinking a glass of water, maybe you put some intentions in it. Maybe you've had a hard day and maybe you want to get clarity on the day, and you can say, look, you can hold the glass of water, and I think I've said this before, with the intention, as I drink this water, it clears my mind, it clears my body, it brings me back to stillness, it brings me back to peace, and I gain clarity of whatever needs to unfold, or whatever is behind the experience that I've had today, etc. So whatever it is that you're needing in that moment. Clear your energy field. So if you're not a healer and you don't know what this means, the simplest way is, and I love sharing this, grounding barefoot on grass or soil or sand, or just being out in nature, touching a tree and just asking the tree, hey, can you just help clear my energy field? You don't need to know anything about it. You can just do this and play with it. It may feel uncomfortable initially, but then you realize, oh, actually, this feels really good. You can talk to your plant and ask the plant to clear your energy. I've got one there that's looking at me and saying, hey, what about me? And it's like, yes, okay. The other thing I love to do, is something that when I first started and noticing or understanding what energy field was, way back in 2011 or something like that, I used to have showers in the evenings, and then I used to put colors. Like I imagine like there's a rainbow shower drops, and as they drop down, they would clear and cleanse my energy field. And then I would do it with Epsom salt baths as well. So those are the different ways that you can actually do that. So anything that is with nature helps to clear our energy field. Come back into your body. This is interesting. Many of us, when it gets chaotic, we want to check out, we want to leave our bodies, but it's really time to come into your body and feel your body and listen to what your body is trying to tell you. This is so important, especially those of you that are high achievers, that are constantly in your mind going, pushing. Your body, if you're not listening to your body's going to stop, and it's going to stop you in your tracks, because things do need to change, and they are changing. So it is, you either hold the space and you listen to your body and allow your body to guide you, or it will stop you in your tracks. So yeah. And then number 10, go into your heart center. This is where the stillness resides, and open your hearts. And it's honestly, it takes a lot of courage to open your heart in these crazy times. So, you know, it's understandable that you don't want to, but that is where the stillness resides. That is where the frequency of love resides. That's where the connection to your soul's energy resides. That's a connection to the cosmos, connection to the ground. It all resides within your heart. So, yeah. And then finally, don't force peace. It's almost like this sense of just allow the allowing to come through you, rather than doing, rather than pushing, rather than forcing, rather than manipulating. Allow. That's the word, allow. Yeah, many of us have been through this kind of washing machine cycle and washing machine effect. And know this, I think many of us will, the reason why I think the second half of this month is going to bring us clarity, those of us that have been in this washing machine purging cycle for years, there's going to be clarity that is going to be coming out on that. And many of us are still in it, and many of us are going to be experiencing it on a whole new level. And the clearer we are, the more, and it's the clearer we are, meaning that the more awareness that you have of your own crap, whether it's been cleared or not, it doesn't matter. It's the awareness of that. It's going to be easier for you to access this energy of stillness. And just remember that it is, all of this is a practice, and the more you practice, the better you get at it. So yeah, big month, big energies. And there was a lot that I've just said, which I can't remember, but yes, I really hope that you have enjoyed watching these insights. Thank you so much for watching it up until this point. Thank you so much for being here. If you have enjoyed this, please do go ahead and share this with your loved ones, your family, your friends, your colleagues. Leave a thumbs up, leave a comment below, and if you haven't already subscribed, please do go ahead and subscribe. As I mentioned before, all of this helps me to grow this channel, and for those people that are really needing these messages right now to watch this, listen to this. And then if you are looking for extra support this month, please do go ahead and join the energetic alignment session, which is our group healing journeys. That is taking place on Sunday, September the 21st. Oh my God, I'm getting the dates all kind of muddled up a bit here. At 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. UK time, 7 p.m. European time. And the theme this month is called End of the Beginning. All the details on the links can be found below. And then if you do leave a comment here, remember I will enter you into a prize for celebrating 6 years of doing these energetic insights and my 40-something birthday. I still think I'm 28, but I'm absolutely not 28. But anyway, here we are, 40-something. Goodness gracious me. Anyway, guys, I hope you have enjoyed these insights. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all next month. Take care. Bye for now.